Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy V, and today we are taking a look at the new indie action RPG Chronicon. Chronicon has been in early access on Steam since 2015 and had its full release on August 21st, 2020. It has been developed and published entirely as a one-man passion project by Swedish developer Subworld. The game features an incredibly robust and diverse progression system in the form of randomly generated loot, 4 specialized skill trees for each of the 4 unique classes, and their near infinitely scaling mastery tree. If the sheer depth of this game isn't enough to hook you into it, then perhaps the gorgeous 2D pixel art style will be the shiny lure to pull you in. Now, I've hardly scratched the surface of this monumental iceberg of a game. I'm only about 13 hours in, but regardless, I've had an absolute blast. I've been playing the game on stream, and I find myself running the stream much later than intended when we've had this game going. It's just such a beautiful, one-of-a-kind experience layered with familiar mechanics and systems, but done in their own way. As is expected when it comes to an action RPG, there's a lot of if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of things, like randomly rolled affixes on gear, crowned enemies with affixes of their own that net you larger bumps of XP and larger loot explosions, set items that can allow you to hyper-focus the power of your build into a niche, and even outright enabling specific playstyles to be, well, played, standard stuff. But now I know what you're thinking. Set items? You mean this is just Diablo 3? I don't want to play that. My build diversity. And hey man, I hear you, but please hear me out here. I myself have not had much interaction with set items, and the 1-2-piece set that I am currently equipped with is only on for stats, not the actual bonuses. However, according to the infinitely more experienced players who have been hanging out in chat, that's over at twitch.tv/DHVeez by the way, sets are just one option, and other gear can function just as well. Sets are only for specializing your build for the 1 or 2 options that they specialize in, if that suits your needs. Also, according to my chat, Subworld is taking a fun before balance style approach and only nerfing things that are way beyond reasonable, which I think is perfect for an offline game like this. Now, enough overview, let's sit down and get into my first 13 hours and the 2 characters I've played in that time. First off, seeing as this game was originally planned to be a roguelike before becoming the action RPG that it is now, I thought hardcore would be in the spirit of the game as well as just making for a fun challenge. The characters I decided to play ended up being both warlocks, since mages, summoners, and damage over time skills all fall into my favorite playstyles and power fantasies. And let me tell you, this game knows how to drive you into a power fantasy. My first go-through, I decided to spec all in on the Corruptor skill tree, which focused heavily on AoE poison damage. The skills and passives offered here allow you to pile on several layers of dots, causing them to spread to surrounding enemies. Dot mages are nothing new, but the flavor here really makes you feel like a 5G tower, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyway, I found that this build was incredibly safe and satisfying, allowing me to focus mostly on evasion and boss fights, with the satisfaction really kicking in once I spec'd into Outbreak and Bursting Boils, causing my enemies to explode on death and further spreading their diseases out to other surrounding mobs, effectively turning my game into a real-time simulation of Florida. Unfortunately, I got a little cocky on how strong I thought this character was while playing around with different skills and proceeded to die rather embarrassingly to the very first boss of Act 2. Yeah, look at that fool. Laugh at him. Laugh at him. It's around me. Oh no! I also just want to show you this cool thing here on the main menu real quick. You get a neat little gravestone immortalizing your deaths and showing off your progress and stats on it. And frankly, I think that's kind of cool. It's very reminiscent of, Diablo 3 had a similar thing, the Hall of Fallen Heroes, but I don't know. It's a nice feature. Fast forward to the next day reroll. For my second attempt at the game, we once again rolled Warlock. I'm not even sorry, this class has all of my favorite things, and spec'd into the Demonologists tree. This build focuses on fire damage, massive AoE bursts, burn-style dots, explosions, and you guessed it, demons. Early on, the bursty nature of the fire skills were a nice change of pace from the slow ticking dots of the Corruptor for me, but holy hell did that kick into overdrive once we got Fire Nova. With just one base point, the AoE was covering the majority of my screen, and with some more investment, it was starting to become our whole screen. It made for a nice fun combo skill with our second skill, Demolish, which we expect to cause enemies to take more damage after being hit with it, as well as giving us an additional 15% bonus resistance for a few seconds after casting. I thought we would stick with this devastating 1-2 combo forever until RNGesus had other plans. Throughout our adventures in Act 2, we dropped several Demonologist themed items, including an item that could double the summons from our ultimate skill, an item giving us a Hellhound that could cast Hellfire, and a chest giving all our companions more damage. All of this together made us decide to respec into a summoner playstyle, and, well, let me just show you real quick how that went. And from here, we kind of just steamrolled through the rest of Act 2. The next stream, we will be diving into the third act of the game, and maybe more if we play well enough and get lucky enough. From here, I'm just going to go into our current gear and skill tree setup and talk about where I want to take the build with regards to passives, gearing, masteries, and just kind of like what I've learned about the game thus far between actually playing and, you know, talking to chat and stuff like that. So first of all, as you can see, we got 4 little imps floating around us and our 1 big hellhound. If we press E, we get our 2 big infernal demons. These guys just kind of run around and spam all of the fire skills randomly. It's kind of gross. Just do absolute monstrous amounts of damage, and then as you can see, when they expire or die, they blow up. Effectively, they end up having like just under a 30-second cooldown. It says 52, but you know, they have a 20-second duration, so so it's a lot of fun. I've been having a blast with this build. This little doggo here, he'll use Hellfire, which is one of the fire skills. The imps, they actually use the same attack as my default attack here. And then if I activate them, they'll do that, which is Detonation, which I said wrong in the scripted part of the video, so whoopsie. It is Detonation, not Demolish. But yeah, so this is what the character looks like. This is what some of the things are. I'm just going to show you like the items that we have right now. We've got Hound Whistle, which is giving us, you know, the doggo and some stats. We've got this Infernal Horns. This is what lets us summon an extra Infernal Demon from our ultimate. The Heart of Fire. This is just, it's just a random unique amulet. It's not something I exactly want to keep. I have been told by chat that there is a way to upgrade items so that you don't just have to wait for a higher level version of it to drop. So I'm going to be sacrificing things to try to get our Demonologist robes here, which is what's giving our Infernal Demon and imps a ton of extra damage. I'm probably going to look for something for the Hellhound, but I don't know how good it is. I do like, you know, in my opinion, more minions the merrier. So we'll see how that goes. But definitely going to be upgrading Infernal Horns. Definitely going to be looking to upgrade Demonologist robe. We've also got just some move speed boots. They're not the best thing in the world, but they're okay. Amulet, it's all right. This is what I was talking about with set pieces. These are kind of what those end up looking like. This is for the Reaper set. Or specifically, I guess, the Reaper skill tree, which we'll get into the skill trees in just a second. But doesn't really do anything for me currently, but it has some good stats, just flat stats on it, so it works. It's been helping out my damage and my survivability quite a bit. Let's move on to the skill tree here. By the way, I just want to point out something interesting. Your inventory is going to look like this, or when you first load in, but then you can find these backpacks. I happen to have 2 bottomless bags, which are legendary tier. They just give me a fully unlocked stash, and it seems that I have dropped things. This is another cool thing. It's just an auto pickup radius. You can toggle it. By default, it's Q, but I've remapped everything on here, so if you get in the game and you're looking at your skills like, why doesn't it look like this? I just remapped everything, and I like it a little better. It's a little more comfortable for me than doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 while also moving WASD, but you don't have to use WASD. There is a toggle for using right click or mouse to move, but I'm kind of just going with it. I like the WASD. It actually feels nice in this game, so Why not? So let's look at what we got here. As I said in the earlier part of the video, we got 4 skill trees. You got Corruptor, that's poison, plagues, stuff like that. You've got the Lich, which is cold damage and freeze and crit and stuff like that. You've got Demonologists, which is what we are currently. And we have the Reaper, which is all shadow damage. I'm currently speccing into Reaper as a secondary because it has a lot of really good defensive nodes. As you can see here, I'm getting just a bunch of percent health. I'm getting some flat health on hit. Overpower, which is like penetration basically, but it's like global penetration. There's no specifics, it seems. And I'm getting Masochism, which is cool. Whenever I take damage, whenever I take direct damage, not damage over time, I get a big boost to my health regen and mana regen, and it stacks 5 times. And since I'm basically, like, as you can see, I'm running around playing mostly a melee character for all intents and purposes, I'm going to be proccing that and stacking it up a lot. So that's a lot of fun. Makes me very survivable and just keeps my spells spanning, basically. Although my spells are not the important thing with this build anymore. It is all these guys and the big ones. So let's take a look at what we have here. We're 37 points into Demonologist right now. I'm planning on having that far more filled out, but we're only level 47 at the moment, so only so much you can do. Level cap is 100. However, Mastery, which is this thing that we'll get into in a minute, is not capped. If I remember correctly, these class-specific ones do have hard caps, but these 3 in the middle have no cap. You can just scale those infinitely. It's kind of like Paragon and Diablo 3. I think there's a lot of things in here that you can draw parallels to Diablo 3 that this game I find does in an interesting way that doesn't feel exactly like D3. But the gearing in this game feels nothing like Diablo 3. This is very, man, I don't even know. It's a little Grim Dawn-y, if I'm going to be real with you. And I think that's a good thing. I'm not a big Grim Dawn player myself, but I find their systems very interesting. But yeah, let's take a look at Demonologist real quick. Right here, we're getting 10% damage reduction, getting ton of health, like a ridiculous amount of health from this. We're getting just a little bit of, whenever you cast a fire skill, you have a chance. You'll see it proc here every now and again. I'll just hold this down. Yeah, you see that big like Nova coming out of me while I'm casting this? Yeah, there we go, there we go. Yeah, that's all from that. That's not actually Fire Nova. I don't know if I'm gonna even keep that. It's kind of just meh, but it does trigger our Burning Hells, which is the next thing I want to get into passive-wise. This adds a burn effect to all of our fire skills. What this is mainly for, it's good damage over time, and you can scale the duration, but what we're really going for here is the combustion. We're going to be going into eruption, which just makes combustion have a chance to trigger again. So basically what combustion is, and what a lot of, you'll see with a lot of builds in this game, almost any class has some kind of, if you've played PoE, it's like Impulsas or the Explodey chests. Basically just either an on-kill explosion or an on-hit chance explosion, or a just random chance while affected by something explosion. 12% chance to explode on death, whereas for Demonologist, it's just a chance to, when dealing damage, to cause an explosion. Helps a lot with clear speed. It's pretty nice. And then there's also things like this one you see here, where it triggers an effect from the Reaper tree. So that's going to trigger sudden death whenever I cause an explosion, which all foes below 15% have a 6% chance to instantly die. That's kind of cool. So that now, normally that would only proc off of shadow spells, but now it's going to proc off of our fire skills as well. So, a lot of fun. That's about it for passives on this tree. However, now let's get into the actual meat of the build, which is the actives. We have Flash Fire as our default attack. I only have 1 point into the our left mouse button and our right mouse button. Detonation, nothing fancy. It's just here to do some damage. It does some knockback. The real meat of this skill is Torment and Burning Attunement. Cause any monster that I deal damage to with Detonation is going to take increased damage for 5 seconds. And then this one is going to increase all of my resistances by 15% for 6 seconds after using it. Originally, while leveling, and if you're going to level a Demonologist, I highly recommend speccing into this combo. Detonation with Fire Nova just destroys. They're similar AoE, though Fire Nova becomes much bigger AoE, and Fire Nova just ton of damage, even at rank 1. It's good. We're probably going to max it out. That's our main damage skill outside of our minions. And just none of the options here feel particularly great for my build currently. If I were doing a more caster-based build, I might end up speccing into it, or a more dot-based build, I might even still pick up Inferno at some point, because it is a tornado that kind of sucks things together. It'll make it a lot easier for my minions to just kind of burst down a pack. However, into the minions, our imps, like I said, use our flash fire, straight line, piercing. It's cool. It works. Imps dot, explode on death. Cool. This is the most important part, demonic strength. Each soul that you hold increases all companion damage and health, which affects our big minions too, which are the infernal demons. These things, oh god, dude, if you like, the video looks cool, but the video does not sell how hard these things carry. I'm trying to get my cooldowns as low as possible, because not only do I want to be able to spam this, and also later on there is a set I can get, apparently, that just makes them permanent. Why? Also, you can get like 4 of them late game. Why? Companions in this game scale off of your attack speed and your cooldown reduction, so get those as low as possible if you're doing a minion build. But this is one of the most important nodes you need to max out on this build, as well as your imps, because you don't have 4 of them until rank 5. 1 point in Lich, and it is solely for soul warp. This was recommended to me by chat. So basically, this is just a blink. The more souls we have will increase the range of it, and it'll consume them. It's kind of bad for that, but you can get things that make you not lose souls with it. For a while, I did have a pair of boots, but it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it for now. I am going to run a zone real quick. I'm not going to touch Act 3 content because I'm waiting to do that on stream. It gets just even more ridiculous once we have daddies up, as I like to call them, the big daddy demons. Let's see if we can find like a fat pack real quick. Grab a shrine while we're over here. Oh. Yeah, oh, it seems that we have found a, one of the secret areas. Well, that's interesting. That's content, right? So, you find these occasionally. This is actually only the second one that I've come across, between the 2 characters. And I believe the first one on this character as well. These are kind of what the end game areas are, from what chat has told me. But, again, I don't really know. These things apparently get really crazy and drop incredibly large amounts of loot and give a ton of XP. So that's always welcome, especially when we're, you know, hardcore, just trying to over level a little bit. As you can see, we have Killstreak bonuses that give racking XP and crystals, which are the form of currency in this game. We have not found like a crazy good currency sink at the moment, other than gambling. As you can see, even though, you know, we're spec'd for minions right now, our 1-2 combo with detonation and fire nova really pack a punch. I don't know. I've been enjoying the heck out of this game, and I just want to keep playing. Let's see what this red thing is over here. Oh, it's another puzzle. Of course it is. That's kind of cool, though. It's one of the easier puzzles, too. It's just a matter of patience. Let's just stand here and watch our demons go to work, so you can get an idea of how ridiculous they are when I don't have any input. They clear pretty quickly and easily on their own. I don't really need to be super involved. I just need to exist. That's about it. This is kind of just click until you get it. Cool. Did not mean to do that again, but hey. Yeah, as you can see, my health bar hardly moves. Like, yeah, our damage gets a little slow on some of the crowned enemies, but that's fine. We're a very tanky build right now. That's Chronicon. That's the first little look I want to give you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And buy the game on Steam. It's only $9.99. It's practically free. I'm having a blast with it, and I hope you guys will come say hi on stream. Tuesday through Saturday, 5 p.m. at the very latest. And Yeah, sometimes Sunday, Monday, we might pop on. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Love you, and bye-bye.